All right, everybody. Excuse me. Welcome to another edition of the Monday Nick is Truth, your political hip hop outlet. I'm Jimmy the Square Guy. I want to talk fly to you, we lie to you with my co-host Pookie.
Lil Pookie, what's next radio? What's good?
I apologize again. I hate seeing co-hosts. I don't look at you as no co-host.
You're confusing.
I'm very confusing. I'm very confusing. But again, I hate seeing co-hosts.
Yeah.
You're not a co-host.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You know it's not like Batman and Robin. You know. Exactly.
We're equally yoked.
Yeah, I've been here.
Right.
So I don't like saying that. But anyway, how you doing?
I'm good, bro. How are you?
It's Monday.
Mondays are good. I don't let Mondays get me in a glum. Mondays are good. It's the beginning of a whole new week journey.
Yeah, but sometimes Monday is just
depends on what you do on Sundays, though. If you ain't just out here tripping.
But
Mondays
you know what?
are good.
You know what I think gets me on Mondays? It doesn't get me. It gets other people, and what they do affects me. I'm gonna say that.
Why?
They do crazy stuff on Monday, and it's Monday, so forgive me.
Yeah, they be tripping.
No, you dingy, just fuck it.
That's it.
Yeah,
Monday through Sunday.
Yeah, don't blame it on Monday.
Yeah.
Don't blame
Those
it
probably
on
the ones that's at the club at 2 and 3 in the morning,
Monday.
and then going to work looking stupid.
Exactly. Don't blame it on Monday.
Yeah. Exactly.
Michael Jackson said, "Don't blame it on the sunshine. Don't blame it on the moonlight. Don't blame it on the good time. Blame it on the boogie. Or just blame it on autism, stupid, whatever. You stupid, you're stupid." Yeah.
That part.
That part.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's going on?
Ain't nothing. Let me ask you this. This is our topic for the day.
Okay.
When you're in a committed relationship, is it okay for your significant other to get something from other people?
Something like what?
For example, is it okay for you to get some money from another guy if you're in a committed relationship with somebody?
No.
Then why do these females act as if they can ask these dudes, "Let me get $100"? I'm not your boyfriend. What me and you friends? I should be able to.
No.
I'm the same way.
No, it's not okay.
If you're in a committed relationship, is it okay for your woman to get something from another guy?
Y'all need
I'm
to
asking.
talk.
I'm asking men that. I ain't gonna ask the females because I know y'all got a different take.
No, but right is right and wrong is wrong. It doesn't. Gender has nothing to do with that. You shouldn't be asking no other. Y'all should be on the same page. It shouldn't be a point where you have to ask anybody for anything. Actually, but if it has to be like that,
thank you, Edward Wills. Edward Wills say hell no because
that's what I said. Why he gets saluted and I don't?
Because that's my boy, my boy. That wheel sauce, that wheel wing sauce. Say, man, that shit fire, homeboy. Believe me, that shit is fire. It's your grandma stuff, but that shit fire.
Oh, that's the hot sauce I was eating the other day?
It wasn't hot. It's not hot.
What is it?
You need a bottle? I'll give you a bottle. I got one in there.
So what is it?
It's some sauce that has a sweet, tang taste to it with a spice. But as soon as it starts to get spicy, it turns to a sweet, sour taste.
What?
That shit good.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta check that out.
That shit's some fire.
I'm a
Wheels,
saucy lady.
wing sauce. That shit fire.
Oh, it's a wing sauce.
But he said he's gonna take the name wing off of it because that almost says it's for wings only.
Right.
He's just gonna name it wheel sauce.
So what else would you use it on then?
Because once you taste it, you will use it on everything.
Is that part right?
Potato chips, eggs, potatoes, chicken, your mate, all that shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
you say your mate?
Yeah, you gonna use that shit on everything.
Oh my goodness.
But women feel that because he's a male friend, I can be able to ask you for $40 or $50. So I told that dude that asked me that last night.
Yeah.
I said, I tell you what, that same girl that feel like that she got a boyfriend, but she can ask you for some money.
Right.
Tell her to ask you the exact question while her man standing there, and watch what happens.
That part.
That's gonna tell you if you can ask another man for some money or something when you're in a committed relationship.
Exactly.
She knows she wrong. It's no way in the world that I got a girlfriend. She say, baby, you got $200? No, baby, I ain't got it right now. I don't get paid till Friday. Oh, Kevin, you got $200?
Yeah. That is totally disrespectful.
Damn,
Totally disrespectful.
And if he give it to you, my question is, what y'all got going on?
Totally yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, what y'all got going on? Huh?
It should never be, where you go outside the relationship. If it's a committed relationship,
exactly,
you don't ask anybody else for anything. Y'all figure it out.
Exactly, and you have to have that discipline to know how to do without things. But apparently, today's younger generation, what they call them? They call them the millenniums. Today, the millenniums,
right?
They value system is totally different.
Everything about them
exactly.
is different.
Everything
is different, but you just gotta like you said, in a committed relationship, it's a respect level.
Exactly.
You don't go outside that box for any shape, form, or fashion. You got some people that believe, okay, well, I'm in a relationship, but I ain't no ring on my hand, but it's not. That's ignorant. If you're in a committed relationship, it's just what it is. It don't have to be marriage. You just got to respect each other. Don't ask little Leroy for no money, and you talk to John.
In addition to that, a ring on your finger don't make you no more committed than not having a ring on your finger.
No.
If you're a committed person, you're a committed person.
That part.
And the question is, when are you in a committed relationship? Is it after you have sex? Is it something that you discuss? Is it something that, 6 months? Steve Harvey say 90 days, which I don't believe none of that because he done missed out 2 marriages. But the question is, when are you in a committed relationship?
That's a good question.
Because if you don't know, if you don't know that you're in a committed relationship, you'll start living a life as a single person, and you would do things that's disrespectful to your significant other.
Is so true. That's true. That's where communication comes to play. You have to know where you stand. Where do you stand with each other? Like, what are we doing? Are we just friends with benefits? Or are we in a relationship? Are you looking for marriage in your future or whatever? That's where communication comes in.
And you have so many people say that communication is key. But in today's society, they have a cliche that I found so profound. It says, after all is said and done, there's more being said than done. More people are talking the talk and not walking the walk. Yeah, we say communication is key, but we're not doing that in relationships. So many people fear that if I say something to her, she gonna get mad, we're gonna argue. Yeah. So I'd rather not say nothing at all.
Right.
So a lot of things go unspoken and not understood or not agreed upon.
Yeah.
So now you don't know you're in a committed relationship. Y'all haven't agreed to being exclusive. He or she asking other people for money and gifts and going out doing other things with other people. Nah, we can't. I can't operate like that.
No, me either.
So the question is, if you're in a committed relationship, is it okay for your significant other to get things from other people? I say no.
832-649-8406.
That's the number.
I need that input.
They say the use of communication is key. Okay, what you mean by that,
Ed?
Call in and explain. Call in and explain that to the viewers. Because I know communication is important in any area, business, personal life, family.
Right.
But again, more being said than done. We'll talk about communication. When it comes down to it, nobody really communicates.
That's true.
So.
Well, lack of communication is going to self-destruct regardless because you're not communicating. We can easily get misled in a situation. Like I say, is this a situationship? Is this a relationship? Is this a friendship or whatever? Because we're not communicating. So, like he just said, communication is the foundation. And if you're not communicating, then you left us soon.
Well.
So in that kind of scenario, if I'm assuming I'm in a locked in relationship but we ain't had the discussion, then yeah.
And you know what kills me? They got this thing saying today, this little saying.
What?
What is understood don't need to be discussed. Exactly. Exactly. Therefore, there's nothing to talk about.
Right.
Because we're supposed to understand what the situation is.
Right. You're just supposed to automatically know.
Yeah.
No. That's the problem. Lack of communication, man. You can't just.
Well, let me tie that communication into this as well. It is very important to communicate with your voters.
With who?
When you're running for office or something, it's very
Yeah.
important to communicate with voters.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So today we got a guest in here that's so it actually blew me away.
Yeah.
He is the mayor of Missouri City, Stafford, Texas,
Stafford,
Missouri
Texas.
City.
Yeah.
Time out, time out. This just ain't no politician.
No.
This dude been mayor since 1969.
Wow.
You close your mouth. I did the same thing. I was
I
like,
know. I was okay. I had
Not-
my mouth open.
not running for mayor, not running for mayor, or
been
trying to
locked
get
in.
trying to get mayor, and
Right.
y'all please vote for me. Not the
Right,
Ross
right.
Perot type of dude. No, Ross
Right.
Perot been running for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like Ross Perot. Though. I like Ross Perot. This dude been active mayor in the seat since 1969.
Wow.
That's longer than me and you been born.
That's commendable.
No, how old? You about 88? No, I'm just playing with you.
7.
69.
That's a long time.
My old
That
man-
was before I was even thought of.
Yeah, me too. But my thoughts is this. I don't know him personally, but anybody that been in a seat that long
Mhm.
have to be doing something right.
Exactly.
Because you're not going to be in them people's business, in their face, running their city, lying to them for 40, 50 years.
Yeah.
Somebody going to catch those at halftime. We gotta get Pop out of there. That's just me.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's why I say
That's
I don't.
a long time.
That's a long. That's why
That's
I say.
a
That's
very
why I
long
see it.
time.
He's not a politician. Politicians don't last that long. People do.
Yeah, there you go.
So look here.
Gotta be
Before we
doing
get in
something
here,
right.
let's go ahead and bring our first guest in.
All right.
What's the one you brought? What's her name?
Oh, Miss Shanae, I'm sorry. I do
Yeah.
apologize.
Miss
Miss
Shanae.
Shanae.
We'll get Miss Shanae.
She is an entrepreneur, a young entrepreneur. I've been knowing this girl since she was a little bitty kid, like
Mm-hmm.
baby. So she's doing her thing. She's a fashion designer. She has
Mhm.
stuff she makes, like creates
Mm-hmm.
clothes for toddlers.
Mm-hmm.
Really cute clothes. And her little girl wears a baby. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, yeah. So that's Shanae,
but
and
you-
she's doing some phenomenal things.
But you talking about since she was a little baby? Who she look like a baby now? Like about
She
19.
is. She a grown baby with a baby.
Oh, okay. My fault.
Yeah.
My fault. Well, come on in, Miss Shanae. Squeeze on in there.
Welcome, Shanae. She got a
I wish
mic.
you'd have got here earlier. We could have mic'd you up. We got to mic. We
Yeah.
got to mic you up on. This is the naked truth, and we do everything live and open. So we have to mic you up
Yeah.
right now.
So
There you go.
it
Put it
just
on.
happens like
There you
that.
go. There you go. How you,
We
can
good?
you hold that for me? Can you hold it for me? There you go. Can you talk? Talk.
Hello.
Talk.
This is Shanae.
Uh-huh.
Shanae. Good.
Shanae, say something again,
Mic,
Shanae.
Mic check.
There you go, Shanae.
All
There we go.
right.
Oh, we got action.
We got
All right,
action.
let me go live too.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are y'all?
We perfect. We
Great.
perfect.
Welcome.
Good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for
Absolutely,
coming.
My pleasure.
And we just, you on a historical show today.
Emma.
Yeah.
We
Hey.
got the mayor.
We got the mayor in this building.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay, that
very
mean great
nice.
thing. That's
Historical
great
show.
things.
Yes.
And again, I'm not trying to toot his horn. I'm not into politics that big. I'm into just people. The man been married since 1969.
Oh, yeah. My
That's
mama
just the
wasn't even thought about.
that when the Commodores was
The
My mom
Commodores.
wasn't even thought
winning
about.
$5
No,
right?
None of us.
None of us around. When that's powerful. Though.
Yes, it is. Yes,
And-
it is.
Okay, got that out the way. So, how you doing again?
I'm good.
Okay. You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready? Let us
Yeah.
know something. Talk to
Oh,
us.
come
Talk
on.
to us. Talk to the naked truth audience.
Hey, Naked Truth. My name is Shanae. I am the founder and CEO of Toddlers with Style. Basically, what Toddlers with Style is just that it's a brand that's targeted towards kids. I'll just go ahead and give a brief background on how it all came about. So I have a 2-year-old. Her name is Journey. She's like the life and the reasoning behind Toddlers with Style.
Mm-hmm.
So how it all started, I've been dressing her literally since she's been out the womb. Like out the hospital, she had on a suit, a whole fit.
Mm.
She's been Instagram famous since she was a baby. So amongst the years, people just ask, what do you get her clothes, or can you, if I pay you, can you design, or can you come about and pick out clothes for my baby. I want my baby to look like your baby.
Mm-hmm.
And at first, I was feeding into it, and I was giving the inside plug as to where I was getting the clothes from, or even possibly making the clothes for them. And then I was a single mom, and I was like, I could probably get paid for this. So I went ahead and started with no website. I started with absolutely nothing. Like I said, I was a single mom. I started taking my first orders out of my home. I started this about November of 2018, so recently, and it kind of took off. And I wasn't really ready for it, but I was putting myself out there as if I was ready for it, so I had no choice but to get ready for it. So I converted my computer room inside my one-bedroom apartment into a closet, and I bought racks. I did the whole nine. But before getting there, I made my first purchase with Tyler's for Style was $17. I had $17 inside my bank account, and I was like, okay, it's either gonna be a hit or it's gonna be a miss. So I ordered my first merchandise with my $17 out of my bank account, and I put it out there as if I had the merchandise, but I really didn't. I wanted to see if.
So you were faking it until you
Fake
made
it till you
I
make
faked it until I made it.
Yeah.
And
Hey, sometimes they
Yep.
they say by any means necessary.
Yeah.
There you go.
and it was a hit. So okay, and then it really didn't take off like I thought it would, but I did have a few orders that I did need to fulfill. So, once I gained revenue with like 2 or 3 sales, and I made a little profit off of that, then I designed my own logo on a website that I found for free. Upon designing,
send it to us. We can put it on the screen.
oh, yeah, it's on the phone.
You have it.
I do.
Okay, that's okay. We'll get it later.
You're
Okay.
coming back. Trust me, you come back.
So I designed my own logo, and then I found a website that I was able to do a 30-day free trial with the website. So I designed my own website that I still currently use to this day. And upon my 30 days expiring, I had a little bit more money coming in, and I was able to pay for it at that point. So it was honestly all on a hope and prayer. Like I stepped out on faith, and I just went from there. So at this time, I was still working, actually right down the street over here in this tall building over here at a call center. I in January of this year became unemployed. So I took it as a sign from God, like maybe you need to just focus on your business, be your own boss, and put your all into your child, into your business. So from there, it was income tax time. I spent it wisely. I bought a lot of inventory. I looked into office spaces to have not necessarily a storefront, but to get out of that computer room of my apartment. So it's something like we're similar, like we're in now. And I mean, it's just history. But alongside of that, as Pookie was stating, I do handmade clothes as well. So 3 years ago, so before my child was even thought about, I reached out to my mom and I was like, hey, I want to start sewing. I want to get a hobby. So Christmas, was it 17? No, Christmas of 16, she bought me a sewing machine. And she taught me the basics of, she took like, I think y'all used to call it like home ec or something like that.
Home economics.
Right.
But AKA is home, what do you call it?
Oh, I forgot.
Oh, something
I'm
else.
telling our age. Be quiet.
I'm talking about back in the day.
Homemaking.
Back in the day.
Homemaking, something like that. Yeah.
Homemaking, yeah.
So she learned how, in that class, she learned how to thread the machine and like the basics of it. So she taught me that, and then YouTube taught me the rest. So from going into a straight line to
Stop.
for real.
It's sad because we are now in a generation where if I want to know how to do brain surgery, YouTube
literally, for
That's
real.
Everything. YouTube and Google. I was like,
It's
life was
everything.
good. Life was
Seriously.
Anything you want to know.
Exactly.
YouTube.
Right.
Exactly.
How to take my transmission out my car.
YouTube.
YouTube.
For real. I changed my brake light from YouTube.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Seriously. But yeah, so YouTube taught me how to make patterns on my own without, buying the patterns. YouTube taught me to go in a straight line, how to curve, how to do all type of things. So before this, like I said, this was before my child was born. So at this time, my business was called Inefe Couture. And it was just a sewing thing. And I would do like, I don't want to say I specialized in like dashikis and things, but that's what a lot of my orders were, like African attire. So I was doing that, then I kind of fell off. I was in love and all of that, so I got sidetracked.
They do it every time.
Got sidetracked.
It happened.
It happened.
It happened.
It happened.
And with Towers with Style, it's a lot of competition out there. So you have a lot of people who's selling the same thing that you're selling, but you're trying to compete with their prices. So
Right.
And you have to separate yourself from the competition with
Correct.
branding and whatnot.
right,
Exactly.
absolutely correct. So what I had this brilliant idea. At first it was never it never dawned to me. Go ahead and design your own clothes or make your own clothes, or I was just strictly going through the middleman, purchasing the inventory, and it was so recent. I kid you not, as recent as Easter, because I was receiving orders, but it was last minute parents, so the order wasn't going to be in time because I didn't have certain things on hand. I had already sold out. So I wanted to target towards those last minute parents, but I couldn't fulfill it through the vendor. So I'm like, hey, let me kick this to you. What if I make this for you? Let me show you a sample and let me make this for you. And it kind of took off. So now every day I'm in my little studio or my office or whatever sewing. And yeah, that's how Inefe Couture kind of kicked back into Towers with Style. So it's
phenomenal. I am so proud of you.
Yeah,
Super proud of you. She started out, Jimmy, she had the nail shop for toddlers. When I say that was the cutest thing, to have the little bowls
I
over
done
the
did a lot.
chairs. And she is a trophy single young mother.
Yeah.
Like, I love watching her, like, on social media and stuff like that. Like, she really takes up a lot of time with her baby, which is so super important. And she started out with the nail salon in the house, and it was just so cute. And my granddaughter is like allergic to everything, so they had to put plain water and act like she was getting a manicure, and she couldn't get the polish, so the little clear. But she had a good time.
Yeah.
It was just toddlers.
It was
I was like, this is so
that's called
cute.
Little Miss Monet Beauty Spa, and
Yeah,
that's
you
targeted
still have
It's
it?
from
called what?
Little Miss Monet
Little
Beauty
Miss
Spa,
Monet Beauty Spa.
and that's
Yeah, it
based
was
off my
so
daughter as well.
cute.
I'm gonna kick back into that now that I have the office space, because like Pookie said,
Yeah.
I was doing it out of my living room. Like I scooted all my furniture to the
cute.
side, and then I had like little toddler chairs and things like that I was catering to them.
Had a little gift package.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Oh my
And it
God.
was I was
this
doing it for
so
$10. Like at that time, my baby was probably like 4 or 5 months, and I didn't have a job, and I just needed to make ends meet. So I love kids, well, little girls, I should say. So I mean,
Hey.
I do.
Little girl.
Like if you look on the website, Towers with Style, I have some boy things, but I don't.
Hey,
really
hey,
know
little
how to-
men, we gonna have some things for y'all too.
Soon, I promise.
We're gonna have a G.I. Joe
Yeah.
camp or something for
Something,
you.
I promise.
Yeah.
I promise.
Something. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so that's Little Miss Monet Beauty Spa. So now that I have the space, my own space, I can just scoop my racks to the side and set up on a Saturday or a Sunday. It was really it's a pampering day. I didn't allow mothers to be there. It was like a drop off service. You pay $10 for 4 hours. I had your toddler. Like my mom and I should say. My mom is like my biggest supporter. I can go from this to that, and she's right there by my side. But yeah, so it was a drop off service. I provided snacks. I didn't feed them full course meals, but it was snacks. It was drinks. I had every Tyler had a present to leave with. It was a pretty good thing.
So well put together.
Yeah, and I did different themes to kind of keep them coming back. Like I
Right.
had Barbie theme one weekend, and Yeah.
I'm so super
And
proud of
and
her.
and that is so important
Yeah.
to succeed in whatever you do. You have to have that support system. And
Agreed.
Exactly.
yeah, and you saying your mom was your biggest supporter,
Biggest.
She
and
is.
y-
Biggest. And then it's a thing that I want to kick. I'm not sure if it's young entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs itself or
mhm,
even supporters. One thing I want to say is when we say support, it doesn't necessarily mean spend your money. Support can go from
Exactly.
sharing a post on social media. Support can go from word of mouth. Support can go from
Exactly.
a like, a comment, just to let us know that you're watching, that you're paying attention
mhm,
to us.
Exactly.
It means a lot. Like some days you probably not have any likes,
Mhm.
but you know it's reaching someone. Because if you think about it, if you walk outside right now, everybody's on Facebook, everybody's on Instagram,
Mhm.
scrolling. So it's being seen. It's just not being liked.
mhm.
Exactly.
So just
and,
that
and,
one
and and
simple
even though
like.
they may like it, they just may not hit the button.
Right.
It'd be
Right.
surprised.
Correct.
It'd be surprised how someone would say, "Hey, you seen Lil Pookie doing such and such," and they were referring her to someone else, but they're
Right.
not hitting the like button,
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
and it just slips your mind a lot of times.
Yeah.
Yep.
But she said a mouthful with that
It
talking about the support.
support. It
You
goes
Mhm.
a
know.
long,
If it's
long
just to
way.
watch the kid, why I go do this?
Yeah,
Correct.
Support me,
anything,
exactly.
anything.
Correct.
Support is just what it is. You
Mhm,
know, it's not always about financial support. I just need that motivation.
mhm.
Motivation.
And I got like one person that sends me an inbox like almost every morning, and it encourages me. It helps me get out of bed
Yeah.
Mhm.
and keep doing what I do. Like
Mhm.
I love what you're doing. Let's get it today. Blah blah. Blah. That is what I need,
Right.
and
That
that's
push.
what you're getting from your mom
My
as
mom,
well.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. Because it's
But
like I said, it's days where I just feel like being that Tyler's with style is my job. It's days that I probably don't make one penny, but
Yeah.
you
Gotta
win
just keep
some, you lose
pushing.
some. You just gotta keep
Exactly.
is
pushing.
there? I want to ask this question. I think this is so important.
Mhm.
Is anyone in your family, immediate family, was an entrepreneur?
Um, yeah, not immediate family. No, no. Well, yeah. I mean, my cousins have like a barbecue truck. That's their business.
Yeah.
That's good. My
That's
cousin, she
entrepreneur.
Mhm.
do hair. That's
Yeah.
her business. Um, yeah, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, my mom, she actually. How could I forget? My mom, she actually have her own business. It's called Visions by Lady
That's
V.
that's why I asked you that because majority of the times when you actually out starting something, those who don't get a lot of support is those who may not have entrepreneurs within their family.
Right.
And your mom was so supportive of you because your mom is a business owner herself.
Mhm.
She know what it needs to get off the ground.
Right.
It doesn't need the money. It doesn't always need buying anything for her. It's just the
Right.
fact that I'm there for her. I watch the
Motivation.
kid. I watch
Yeah,
the grandbaby.
exactly.
Or
Absolutely.
I go pick her up while you go do this. That support is what helps you focus on getting the business off the ground.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's correct.
Mhm.
Yep.
And
That's so
a lot of
very
us don't have
important.
that because we don't have entrepreneurs in our family and they don't have that mindset to support
Exactly.
entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
They'll say, "Oh yeah, I believe you can do it. Go do this, do this," but their mindset is not wired to give you the foundation of support that you need to get off the ground.
Right. It's not that they
Agreed.
don't want to. They just
They
don't know how.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So go ahead and get your information out again and let people know how they can.
Okay, so you can definitely reach out with Toddlers with Style a lot of ways. So on Facebook, we're just at Toddlers with Style. Um, on Instagram, we are toddlers underscore with underscore style. And you can check us out on our website at www.toddlerswithstyle.com. Or you could just hit my DM, Messenger, or whatever if you have any questions.
You have a business phone number?
I do. I don't know about heart.
Don't feel.
That's
Don't feel.
okay. That's
I
all
just
right.
got it.
If they can't get you off all of that stuff you just
on
gave them.
Instagram, I do have a call button on Instagram, so you
Oh,
can reach out to
cool.
me because I made that my business account. So you can
Mhm.
get the directions to my shop, and you can also get the phone number. If you want to come in person to do an in-store pickup, we are located at 2626 South Loop West Freeway, suite number 179.
Get that one more time. 2626 Southwest Loop Freeway.
2626
South
South
Loop
Loop
West.
West Freeway,
Okay.
suite
Just left them
179.
over there.
But don't
Right.
don't feel bad about not knowing the number. greatest technology has been to us,
Right.
it has also robbed us of so much.
I don't know.
Oh
We
my
we don't even we
God.
can't remember. I remember what 20 years. I ain't gonna say that. I don't tell my age.
Oh.
But I
Gotta
remember.
tell it.
I remember at one time. I knew at least 10, 15 phone numbers
Right.
off the top of my head.
Because you have to write it down and put it in the phone book.
Yeah.
And now you just
Then
plug it in and it's that.
You meet a
Now
girl.
you
Can I
just
get your
push a
phone
button.
number? Tell me you got a pen.
Yeah.
Now that
Exactly.
ain't nothing. You don't even know her.
Yeah. And I just said that. I was like, social media has totally
It
destroyed
took
us,
over, yeah.
man.
your
Yeah.
If you're
memory.
not careful, it will dumb you down.
Correct.
Yeah. That your memory capacity is like zero now.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, I'm glad to have you on the show.
But thank y'all so much for
enjoyed
having me.
you, and I'm
did.
super
Thank
proud
y'all.
of you.
I
And
am
you keep
too.
pushing, Niecy Pooh. You just keep pushing, keep doing what you're doing. There's always somebody watching. You know what I mean?
And I do want to make mention before I go,
Mhm.
within a few months, probably like 3 or 4 months, I'm still ironing things out at the moment, but and looking for sponsors or whatever. So if you're looking to sponsor, holler.
Yeah.
But eventually I want to do a fashion show pop-up shop. So
Oh,
I
how
want to
cool is
reach
that?
out to young entrepreneurs or young entrepreneurs like myself that has women clothes, men clothes, kids clothes, any kind of anything,
Mm-hmm.
to go ahead and model a few of their pieces on the runway. I'm gonna do the whole setup, have the whole runway, and then at the end of the show, if you like that garment or if you like that merchandise, then you could just go to the different tables to go ahead and buy those things that you like. So hopefully before school start, so fingers crossed, fingers crossed. But if you're interested in that, it's definitely gonna happen. So if you're interested in it, you could just hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, DM, whatever messenger, and let me know you would like to take part of that, and then I'll definitely keep you updated um, with the insight on that.
One more time before we go, give them your information. I wanna
Okay,
make sure
so
they get
on like us on Facebook. On Facebook, our name is just that Toddlers with Style. That's Toddlers with Style. On Instagram, we are at toddlers underscore with underscore style. And our website is www.toddlerswithstyle.com.
Okay. Well, we're gonna go to commercial break right quick, and we're gonna come back with a person that I'm just flabbergasted over. Man, I got to see this dude.
Flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
He has
Flabbergasted.
really revealed his whole.
Success on the spectrum, where we make a quality of life possible. Prayer to U of A and Rice. It's college week on the Naked Truth. It's fraternity and sorority representation week. Come represent your fraternity and your sorority. Show your moves and share the impact that you having on society. Right here on the Naked Truth. For more details, call 832-649-8406. Again, 832-649-8406. Call, lock your slot. Either be there or you ain't square business. Well, we are back. We are back again, and we got a special superstar guest. I'll call him a superstar.
He's that.
We'll call him a superstar. Superstar guest in the house, and we're gonna bring his representative in first, right quick. Want to come on in? Oh, you want? Oh,
They don't need to see me today. Y'all saw me already. It's time to see him.
Okay, well,
All right.
come on in, Mr. Mayor.
All right.
Turn his mic on. Turn his mic on for him. Got his mic on?
Your mic on?
Bring the mayor on in here. People, first of all, literally, this is the mayor of the city. He's not a
Mayor of
rapper.
Stafford, Texas.
Is your mic on, Mayor?
Yes,
It's on.
I hope it's working well.
It's on, sir. We
It
got
is.
you.
We good?
got you. I got
Thank you so much. I've impressed a few people, but I'm never flabbergasted.
This is the first time in life for everything.
Yes.
I'm flabbergasted. When he contacted me about it and he told me who you were, I was like, okay, cool. I've been wanting to get some people on to kind of re-instill the faith in the people for voting, because my audience feel as if they vote don't count. So I was good to get you on the show. But then when he said, Jimmy, you got to go do some research on him and see what kind of person he is. I said, I do that to everybody. So I got my little phone, YouTube, as she said.
You too.
I YouTube you and
Yeah.
Googled you, and I was flabbergasted. I had to choose my words correctly.
Goodness
I was
word.
flabbergasted.
Well, I'm quite appreciative and
Yeah.
very gratified by that compliment.
Absolutely.
Wow, 1969, you've been the mayor, a people's
Since
person.
Richard Nixon and I came into office the same year, 1969.
Wow.
I came in right after the moonshot, and it's been a long ride. Personally, I lasted a lot longer than Richard Nixon.
Obviously.
But, it's been quite an adventure and something I would not trade anything for.
Mayor.
So it's been a roller coaster, I can imagine.
Being mayor is a roller coaster.
Mhm.
People often ask you, well, do you enjoy it? And my only comment to them, if I didn't, I put up with a lot of misery for a long time.
Yes,
So,
indeed.
you have to enjoy it. You have to
I have to love what you do.
savor it, but you know that it's a tough fight with a short stick, and it never stops.
That's it.
This may be a ridiculous question, but I have to ask. What is the key to your success? Nobody can win that many times.
That.
Well,
Wow.
and with your last guess, you were talking about some things that are important, and I was impressed with those.
I am too. I really
Me
am.
too.
Started out and going against odds. We've gone against a lot of odds in Stafford. We've done things nobody ever dreamed we could accomplish. But the main thing is you've got to tell the people the truth.
That's right.
You've got to only promise what you can deliver, and you have to continually endeavor to understand what their concerns are and how to best address those, even sometimes when your attitude and your position may be different.
Right.
Wow. I've got. They can't hear you, Mayor. I guess he's not talking up. What number is that?
4.
Okay, can you give him 4? Mayor, can we just put that on top of your head? Is that okay?
Oh, sure.
Yeah. We'll turn 2. We'll turn
Where
2
we
down.
can hear you.
Just set that up top of that. Okay. Let me help you out.
Yeah,
Let me help you out.
out. I look like
I know your wife.
I look like something out of a science fiction movie.
I know you used to your wife doing all this here, but say now I see why he's a mayor since 1969. With a personality and a humor like that, that's why he's.
Yes, yes.
Okay, now can you hear? Can we talk now, Mayor?
Mic check.
I'm sorry.
There we go.
There you go.
There we go.
got
We're
it.
ready.
We
I'm
got
ready. Let's get it on, as they say.
Again, just wow. And you say y'all were able to do some phenomenal things.
Well, we had one of them. Probably the most incredible thing.
That school.
We created that school district
Wow.
back in 1976, and that's an interesting story. And I won't go into anything, but we broke away from both Fort Bend Independent School District and Houston Independent School District because part of our kids went to both, and we decided we could educate them better than either of those two districts. We were in the federal courts for 5 years. Finally, in 1981, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals in New Orleans said we should be implemented and ordered our implementation. And fortunately, we had a lot of minorities, and we demonstrated as clearly, I think, as you could, that we were going to take care of those minorities. At that same time, there was Westheimer ISD. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that, but it was a white flight district that wanted to break away from HISD and had 88% white children in it. And then Billy Reagan, who was a well-known superintendent of HISD, and I met, and he said, look, we can't support you. He said, but we really hope you have some success. He said, because if you're successful, it's going to demonstrate the difference between you and a white flight district. Well, we won. Westheimer ISD got thrown out of the courtroom by the federal courts and evaporated literally. But we continued on. We actually started school in 1982. We have great students. We have a very diverse student body. I want to see it more diverse because we certainly need to work to get all the children of Stafford going there, and we've lost some of that. But we have something very special, and the town is truly galvanized around this school district and its children. We have only one, and I know you've got school board members coming to potentially come on, but we have only one major goal: to provide the children of Stafford with the best educational opportunities in Texas, period. And we also have something else. We did a great deal with Houston Community College, and what we're working on now is to make sure that children out of Stafford High School can go into HCC and then move into some 37 oil field valve manufacturing companies and other manufacturing businesses in Stafford, and never have to go over 2 miles to go from high school to a job paying well in excess of $50,000 a year.
Wow. Let me ask you this. So, when you established this school, did you use the curriculum that was already in full being ISD, or did you have to come up with your own curriculum?
And we started from scratch. We decided what the children of Stafford wanted, and of course there were curriculums in Fort Bend ISD and in HISD, and we said, no, that isn't what we want. We brought in some experts. They said, here's what we need to move forward with to give the children of Stafford the best educational opportunities, and that was the curriculum we started with, and we elevated and developed.
Wow. It's been a long time. And
It has.
It's hard to start a small business. You started a school. And you say you don't see why I'm flabbergasted?
Well, and maybe this will flabbergast you more, but
okay, here we go, people.
But this is all fact. You can like I say, you got to tell the truth. So you've been there as long as I can, then come up with some stuff pretty quick. But in this, the educational community as well as the state government didn't want it because we were messing everything up. They thought they had it way. The governor of Texas at that time was Governor Clements. The attorney general was a white who later became the governor. We had all of these very impressive people, the Texas Education Commissioner, all fighting against us. And in spite of that, and in spite of their efforts, we beat them. In fact, Fort Bend ISD was so appreciative of what Governor Clements did. Now, Clements High School, which is one of the top high schools in the state, was named after him because of his efforts to defeat us, even though he lost, and we're proud that he did.
Right?
Have you been married to him as long as he's been married? You have to ask. I'm just asking. Because this guy, wow, man. And so what?
It's commendable. That's a really, really long time. And it wasn't a waste of space. Like, you got a lot of stuff accomplished in how many years is that?
Well, it's been 42 now, but let me say this. We went from a small little set of buildings, and now we're in the process of building a $100 million additional complex, and to give these children those opportunities.
Mary, I think we got a phone call. Somebody want to talk to you.
Okay, that's fine.
Whoa. Welcome to the edition of Naked Truth. What's your truth?
Hey, Jimmy, thank you so much for inviting Major SCARCELLA. My name is Mauricio, and I am feeling so proud of Major SCARCELLA for everything that he's doing for the city of Stafford and everything that he has doing for the Latino community in the city of Stafford. Thank you so much, Mayor, for everything that you are doing, Mayor, and you have our full support for you another term, and I know that you are going to make great things, and all the people that I met in the city of Stafford are completely, fully support you, sir.
Awesome.
Thank you, man.
Well, and I thank you so much, Mauricio, for those very kind comments. And I think there's an interesting little story we'll tell quickly. what triggered all this is the children of Stafford had been bused to Fort Bend ISD
Mm-hmm.
since 1931. They decided for whatever reason they couldn't afford that, and so they discontinued that. Where the children that were most adversely affected were the poor, mainly Hispanic, but some African American children. They had no way to get to school. Most of them, parents were laborers. The daddy took the pickup truck to work. We went to the Fort Bend ISD board and said, please reinstate this.
Mhm.
Right.
As I walked in with these youngsters to ask for that, the board president was overheard by the press, which fortunately made a big headline out of it. But here comes Scarcella and his Mexican friends. When that got out, then everybody realized that we were trying to help these very poor but very dedicated young students who may not get an education if they had to walk to school in cold, rainy, freezing weather, or even maybe, but they had to, in Stafford, you had to go across a railroad track, busy intersections, whatever to get to school. The president of the board, they voted against reinstating, and he said, if you don't like it, do it yourself. We said, fine. He was thinking we're going to buy a bus. We said, we're going to do the whole thing. And so we created the school district.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
Hey, look at him. He took it to death.
I know.
Oh, yeah. I love
He was
that.
sitting there laughing. He just laughing.
Oh, you flabbergasted.
I'm like a little 6-year-old kid with a lollipop.
Aw.
In fact, I got you a lollipop sitting right there. Hand the mirror a lollipop.
Okay.
Hand him, give him a
Got a whole
lollipop.
bunch
Eric,
of 'em
Eric,
over
give me
there.
that lollipop. So, what, you got any events coming up in now?
Well, we're doing a lot of things. We're trying to work on one of our corridors, Murphy Road 292, if you will. It was always a good corridor, but we're trying to get it such that it will be very similar to Westheimer, and that both from standpoint of mobility and commercialization. We have something that I recommended to the school superintendent. They immediately went to the legislature. It's before the legislature right now. One of the biggest problems in America, and in November of this past year, they said that the hottest issue in all the political campaigns was health insurance and health care coverage. And in Stafford, we have an excellent health care program. We pay for all of our employees full health care coverage, plus we pay for 88% of all their dependents, because so many times they have a little child or whatever, the young child that she was talking about. Suppose that young child gets sick. If she's got the insurance, that's wonderful. But what happens to the little child? It needs very serious health care. And so at the city, we provide this. Well, what I've got introduced through the superintendent, Dr. Bostic, is a health care plan that would allow the school district, SMSD, to piggyback on the city's plan that I just described, so that the teachers and the staff would have far superior health care to what they currently have.
Right.
The only problem it's meeting in the state legislature is their concern that it may blow the lid off the fact that the health care that they're providing teachers all over this state is not adequate. And if they see what we're doing in Stafford, they may be a revolution wanting to do it all over
Well, I think you're about to start the revolution right now, because they hearing about it.
Well, I hope so.
Yes.
I hope we can.
Yes.
And I hope they get it off the naked truth.
They will.
Definitely will.
Wow, man. And
So it's election time.
it's election,
and next week or something.
That's Saturday. Saturday is the big day.
Who's running against you?
And I have two gentlemen run against me. An A.J. Honore and a gentleman named Adam Sanchez. And it's a feisty campaign.
Honestly.
Yeah.
What's their chances?
Oh, see, I've been around so long, I can go back to Lyndon Johnson. When he ran, they'd say, what are your chances, Mr. President? He said, well, I'm cautiously optimistic.
Yeah.
Well, that's how I proceed in any
There you
deal.
go.
But I do want to mention one other thing that we've done that got nationwide attention. We eliminated property taxes back in 1995 for everybody, residential and commercial. And everybody said it was an experiment. They wrote a big article in the Wall Street Journal saying it'll never last. Well, 24 years later, we have this. so many people are coming into our city, and so many businesses are coming into and have come into Stafford because of this tremendous incentive. That, and we like to say, if either a resident or a business comes to Stafford, they will be able to keep more of their money than any other city in state.
Oh, I'm going to Stafford. I'm on my way, Mayor.
We'll get you out.
Yay.
So you actually built this place,
We,
the Stafford. You actually built
we
Stafford.
put this when I grew up in Stafford,
Mhm.
and when I became mayor in 1969, it was a big cotton field, a couple of service stations, and a couple of little bitty grocery
Can you fix your
stores.
mic a little bit?
And
No, that
yeah,
this one.
This one is annoying.
No, that's good. That's good. He fine like that.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right, good. See, when I was getting off the spaceship, it kind of got fell. But anyhow, so we have really endeavored to make that a special incentive. We have other tax incentives in Stafford, and because of that, we have manufacturing companies from all over the world, literally Japan, Germany, Finland, Italy, that have come to Stafford. The president, when he was running, said, I want to bring back manufacturing companies to America. We've always said we want to get these companies from these foreign countries and then have them establish their North American headquarters in Stafford, and we've been able to do that.
Wow.
You got a super duper, that's my grandson's word,
Super
super
duper.
duper testimony. That is awesome.
That's very
so
flabbergasted.
Oh my God, you want this word? Spell it.
F-gasted.
I hope we know what the F is.
I know, right?
Flabbergasted.
Oh man.
Well, Mayor, I'm. It's just the right thing to say when I say good luck in the polls, but I don't think you need it.
Well,
I think your track record.
I hope you're right.
I think your track record speaks for itself.
One thing about politics, you never assume anything. I've told this to Reverend Moore. You never think that everything is a done deal or a slam dunk. You've got to run. The people want to see you committed to getting reelected, like they want to see you committed to everything else. They want to hear what you're going to do and the truthful facts. And that's why I so admire your program, The Naked Truth. Sometimes the naked truth hurts. You know, Jack Nicholson said, you want the truth, you can't handle the truth.
Oh, that's my favorite thing.
Well, I love the movie, but it's so absolutely accurate that a lot of people cannot handle the truth. But I think Stafford has demonstrated as clearly as any city can. We're going to tell you what the truth is. It may not always be what you want to hear, but it's going to be what is going to move us forward, because we're willing to face facts and we're willing to face.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you one. I'm gonna ask you one good question for sure. You have done so much in Stafford, unbelievable things. You've done things that collectively people in the cities have not done. Now that you run for re-election, what's the next trade-off? If people put you back in office as the mayor, what are they going to get now?
What they're going to get is the things that will elevate our city, continue to take advantage of the bases, the roots, the underpinnings we put into place for all these years, and then to elevate those and to demonstrate clearly that a city that's innovative, unique, and committed, and is willing to make sure that the people do not have to pay any more for that government than absolutely necessary, then it works to everyone's benefit. Businesses will prosper, residents will prosper, and we have the school district for them to go to school there. So the whole thing makes for a very interesting and we believe most constructive local government, and those are our goals.
Pookie, we got any hard questions for the mayor?
No.
Anyone y'all got some questions for the mayor?
Can you come to Houston and be our mayor?
Oh.
I like Mayor Turner.
The naked truth.
Mayor Turner's a good guy.
Yeah. I see a lot that Mayor Turner is doing, but
yeah.
Wow, man, 1969. I just can't get that out of my head. 1969, the school,
You set a tone.
then the personality. I really didn't think that you. What I see now, I didn't expect that coming through this door.
Mm-hmm.
I thought to see a politician for real.
Well,
To me,
you know,
just
I think the good Lord, and I believe in the good Lord,
Mhm.
has given us the opportunity to go around this world once, whatever that is. But we've got to try to be as open and as honest. But we have to try to enjoy life. So many people, you look at them and you think, my God, he's struggling. He hates everything. And what really bothers me when you see young kids feeling that way,
Right.
you want to see them just full of energy, full of excitement, full of wanting to take on the challenges of the world. Sometimes I don't see that.
now this is a sidebar from politics. Now on the naked truth, we just tell it like it is.
Yeah.
And we always have relationship questions. So I have to ask you this: being successful as you are with the mayor, you have to know something. Now I'm looking at your lovely wife. What is the key? What is the for this show, and for the purpose of relationships? What is the key to successful marriage?
I can't tell you
Oh, is that his
about
wife?
marriage because
Oh,
I've
that's
never
my
been
fault. That's
married.
not your wife. My fault.
No,
I thought that was
I
your
don't
wife.
have a wife. I've been in some very wonderful relationships. For whatever reason, they didn't work out. Probably because the woman felt like I was going to spend more time with the city than I was going to spend with her.
You
and
think?
and put more energy and effort and
Right.
interest into that. And so they said, you better find you somebody else. So, but I love the city. I have 3 dogs that almost ran over Atlanta this afternoon, but big dogs, and when after a hard so happy to be with me,
Yeah.
and so that's what I do for relationships.
And there y'all have it. Thank you, sir.
So go get your dog, Jimmy. Get your nice big dog.
Give me a little dog. Give me a little dog.
Gotta have a dog.
Give me a little dog. Where? There it is. When does the voting polls close?
One more day of early voting, and that ends at 7 p.m. tomorrow night. And then the election day is 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. at Stafford City Hall. And then after that, they'll start counting the votes.
Awesome.
Well, can we vote in Stafford?
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking
Can we vote in
that.
Stafford?
Go back and check
I don't
your little card.
know.
Maybe
Yeah,
you
I'm
got-
gonna check.
Because
maybe
they
you
just
can
changed the
vote.
rule on something
Yeah, I'm
recently.
gonna find out
I
if
don't-
do you got my vote.
If you're
Oh, of
flabbergasted, I think
I-
you'd at least
they'll
vote
let you
for me.
make it.
Don't you think you'd vote
Yeah,
for me
I
if
think
you're flabbergasted?
let the flabbergasted.
All right,
guy
man.
in
There
time.
y'all have it, man. The most historical. I think this will be probably one of the most historic shows there is. We got the greatest, what's the longest running mirror in U.S. history?
Well, no, not in U.S. history. In fact, right now I understand somebody in Pennsylvania might have a little bit longer, but I'm definitely the
wow.
longest running mayor,
In Texas.
continuously serving mayor now in office in Texas, and I'm very proud of that fact. When I went before the House Judiciary Committee in Washington, they said I was the longest running mayor. Somebody challenged them on that. I'll take their word for it, but that's what they do for a living. But anyhow, I'm very gratified by the people giving me the opportunity to serve them as long, and I hope, in their opinions, as well as possible. And I've endeavored to do that, and I'm most appreciative of that opportunity.
Oh, okay, man.
Awesome.
Awesome.
It's been a pleasure.
Very, very pleasure.
Yeah.
I'm flabbergasted.
And I want to thank y'all for having this. Been the most delightful interview.
Seriously?
And, no, not all of them are delightful. Believe
Right.
me. Y'all watch a few yourself, and you know that didn't go too well. But this one's been delightful, enjoyable, very open, and yet the basis and underpinnings of your program, The Naked Truth, I think needs to be elevated in every arena to let people know that is such a critical thing, not only how we live, but our entire democracy and what we do.
Yes,
Wow.
indeed.
Man, well, we're going to bring in our next guest again, Mary. We thank you, man. And
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
I forgot what's going on Wednesday, but I'll see you Wednesday.
That'll be
Yeah,
fantastic.
I will see you
Okay.
Wednesday.
All
I will
right.
see
Nice
you.
to
Such a
meet
pleasure
you.
to meet
Such a
you.
pleasure as well.
Okay. You can take your spaceship stuff off now.
Yeah, I
fuego, hot fuego, fuego. It's hot fuego, it's hot fuego, hot fuego, fuego, hot fuego, caliente, fuego, hot fuego, fuego. It's hot fuego, caliente, fuego, hot fuego, fuego. It's hot fuego, caliente, fuego, hot fuego, fuego. It's hot fuego, it's hot. Beans itching with the ticks. I can teach arithmetics. John Wick with the stick, hit man with the shits, kick though, get it licks, contraband, taking shit, extra shot to the head, just in case he flicking it. Johnny Dobbins, F.A. mobbing, chop, Audi, on it, copy,
All right, everybody, we back again. We have some more guys from Fourth Bend ISD. Oh, Stafford ISD. Pookie, why you been letting me make these mistakes all day? Yeah, I done gave Mary a wife and the man ain't married. I mean, and I'll take this man from Fort Bend ISD. He from Stafford ISD. What is it? Stafford MSD.
That's next to the mayor.
It's next to the mayor.
It was.
Yeah.
That's Stafford.
Got
Man.
Stafford in
And
the
it's
Yeah, man, you have, man. This has been an exciting week for me. This is a political week all the time.
real.
Yeah, we. Okay, Wednesday. You're right. Live broadcast from the Naked Truth. So how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for coming on.
Nice to
I've got
meet
a
you.
tough act to follow.
You say, you know what? Truly, you do. You do. But a good act, a good one, a very good one. So, Stafford MSD.
So we are the only MSD in the entire state of Texas. What that means is a municipal school district. So we are tied in to the city of Stafford. And what that really means is the city and the school district work hand in hand. And every single student that lives in Stafford gets to go to our Stafford school.
Mhm.
And you guys just heard about how the mayor fought to make sure, took it all the way up to Supreme Court to make sure we have a Stafford MSD. And the only one in the entire state of Texas.
And you on the board of trustees?
I'm running.
You
to
running for the board-
hopefully to be on the board of
Board
trustees.
trustee. And no, this is the Naked Truth. So we try and get to the bottom of things. And as I asked the mayor, I will ask you the same thing. Putting you in this position, what is Stafford MSD going to get? What's the trade-off?
The Stafford MSD is going to get someone who truly cares about our children and truly cares about making our school district be an A school district. So
Mhm.
right now we're rated as a B school district. We need to be at an A.
Mm-hmm.
So
And what does it take? What does it take to get to an 8?
it takes a lot of hard work. It takes some leadership, and it takes us bringing all our students back to Stafford and creating that diversity and giving the tools to our students. Because
Mhm.
ultimately, we need to empower our students and our teachers. We have some great teachers. They don't have the right resources.
Mhm.
So
Right.
as you just heard, we passed the big bond, $62 million bond. So I was actually on that committee that helped pass that bond. It's
Mhm.
called the Long Range Facility Planning Committee. And part of that is to enable and give the tools to our students, to our teachers, to make sure that they have the right tools to get our school district from a B to an A. And that's so, so important to me and as well as to everyone that lives in the city of Stafford.
What do you feel about equal education? Because I know some schools in Houston, Fort Bend, Stafford, you got some schools are on a higher plateau on their education and some not. What is your plan to get that all balanced?
So we're very fortunate in Stafford. We have only one school for every single grade. So we have 5 total schools.
Mhm.
Starts at primary, elementary, intermediate, middle school, and high school. So every single student in Stafford goes to those schools. They're all in one campus.
Mhm.
And so for us, we already have a level playing field for everyone in Stafford. Now, speaking kind of more of a statewide, you guys have probably heard of a thing called Robin Hood. And what that really does is it's supposed to take money from.
Do you want to take this call? Or
Sure,
no?
let's take the
'Cause
call.
It may be somebody want to talk to you.
Great.
Welcome to the Naked Truth. What's your truth? Hi.
Hello, we're here.
Okay,
Yes.
and your concern is?
Yes, I just trying to, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I'm calling to see what the families are going to do for the wasteful spending in the school. I'm trying to get my son out of the school now because I don't feel like I don't get any help there.
That's very unfortunate to hear. So one thing we want to do, I think we do a phenomenal job on the city side is, as you've known, we have zero property taxes on the city side. We do a good job managing our resources. We need to make sure we take that same focus and apply that to our school district. We need to make sure our money is actually going to our students and not to go into waste on consultants and things. So there's a big case study we've all heard of, Mark Zuckerberg, founder of Facebook. He donated $100 million to a school in New York, a
Mm-hmm.
charter school. Out of that $100 million, almost all of it went to the consultants. Waste of money. And there's articles written
Wow.
out there.
Wow.
And if you Google it, you'll find it.
That is.
It's horrible.
We need to make sure that never happens in Stafford. So we are going to be committed to make sure every single dollar gets spent and goes to our students and making sure that they get that Class A education they deserve. Because at the end of the day, we're all taxpayers, and that is our money that's going to them. And we need to make sure that those resources are used properly.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're gonna be here at the other end trying to make sure that as the elected officials, if you get elected, that you do what you promised to do for the community.
Absolutely. And you should hold every single elected official accountable. And I plan to hold myself accountable.
Okay. Any specific programs for the Latino kids?
Sure. So one of the great things about our school is we are a very diverse school. We are, if you will go down any street in City of Stafford, it feels like you're walking down in the UN. And we are very integrated. So not only are we diverse, we're also very integrated in terms of people live in each other's neighborhoods. There's no segregation.
Mhm.
So what I want to make sure is every single one of our students feels welcome. So we have a great program in place to make sure the students who are learning English have the ability to get the proper resources and have teachers that can teach them English and can learn in an immersion program. So we have a program for students that speak Spanish. We have a program for students that speak Chinese. And we have 35 languages in addition to English that are spoken in our school. 35.
Wow.
Wow, that's great. Wow.
Wow, that is great. Yeah, my son speaks 3 languages, and I wanted to continue and to encourage him to continue be bilingual so he can have a better future. I just want to make sure that he's going to have the support in the school. And usually, when the candidates are campaigning, they promise things, and at the end of the day, I mean, everything gets lost in transition, and nothing gets done.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to make sure it does get done. And I'm very glad your son, that's amazing. 3 languages, that's phenomenal. And I think that's great that you as a parent are encouraging him to do that. That is absolutely one of the best things you can give your child is to start teaching them another language at a young age because it's a lot easier to learn at a young age than at an older age.
Are you going to get out and vote, ma'am?
Well, what's that? I can't hear you.
I say, are you going to get out and vote?
Yes, I just went to vote half an hour ago.
Oh, thank you, thank you,
I
thank you.
just went to vote,
Awesome.
and I am taking my son, my daughter, my mother, my cousins. They're all coming out to vote. I think they're already inside voting. I did it a half an hour ago, so we are hoping and praying that our voice can be heard and our kids can have a better future in school.
Well, getting out and vote is a start, the main start.
Absolutely. And speaking of that, you still have polls in Fort Bend are still open until 7 o'clock tonight. So if you want, you can go early vote. Family members, friends, anyone has the ability to go vote till 7 p.m. tonight. And then early voting
Yeah,
is
we just came to vote at City Hall. There's no line. It took me not even 5 minutes to vote, which I was very excited because I thought I was going to be in a long line. And so I brought it for you, and I hope that we do see that all the promises come to reality. And I am excited that you guys are taking this commitment to serve the public. And thank you so much for taking my call.
thank you. And thank you very much for voting and participating in the process.
Yes, yes, thank you. Good luck, and then hopefully by May 4th you can be celebrating victory and you can commit to help our children.
Great. And I hope I earned your vote.
Thank you.
Thanks for
And
calling.
thank you for calling, ma'am. Okay. You got something to live up to.
I do, and I appreciate that call.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
Okay, and
And they early voted, so that's great.
you want to ask that question?
Yeah, a lot of the kids in the school, a lot of the kids that live in Stafford, some of the high income families that live there, we have a lot of people because of our property tax. I'm wondering what is your plan if you two get on to actually help get some of those kids back, especially in Asia, which you represent.
sure, yeah, that's a great question. So the question is, how do we bring our students in Stafford back to Stafford? I think that's been one of those concerns that everyone has. And I see it with my neighbors, and it's kind of unfortunate as we have people that live in my neighborhood that don't send their kids to our school. And their number one reason they tell me is academics. And we need to bring our academics up, and we need to make every single one of those children feel welcome in our school. And if I am elected, you're correct, I would be the first South Asian to be part of that school board. And I think we need representation of everyone, as diverse as Stafford is. And it's equally important that we make every single child feel welcome, because this school is not just for one or two people. The mayor talked about how we formed it to make sure that minorities and all minorities are welcome back. And every single student should be welcome back, regardless of race, whether they're white, Hispanic, black, Asian, or what you have. Every single one of those students should feel welcome in our school. And we need to make sure that we, as a board, make every single one of those students feel welcome.
Wow. Okay. Did that answer the question? Well, thank you for coming on, man. We got to go to our next one.
Thank you
And,
very much. I appreciate you having
Congratulations,
me on.
and thank you for coming, and good luck at the
Thank you for
polls.
coming.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I think that caller was really interested in you, so I think she probably went out and voted for you.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, the way she was talking, I think she went out and voted for you.
Well, I hope so.
But we got to bring our next guest on. Again, thank you, congratulations, man, and good luck at the polls, man.
Thank you very much.
All right. This is, I guess I have to call this, Pookie, Political Week on the Naked Truth. Yeah, I got to go. I want to take niggas over to the mayor. Yeah, there's vacancies over there. But, man, I have not met this many politicians in my lifetime. As to meet them today and this week. How many we had? He sends them. And I said I was going to do it, so we getting it done. Yes, we got a live broadcast going on in Missouri City Park. 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Yes. Okay, we will definitely get that out there again. Now, who we have here now?
My name is Lana Hosing.
Lana Hosing.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, Miss Hosing?
I'm fine. How are
Glad
you
to
today?
I'm perfect. I'm glad to have you on the part of the Naked Truth
Okay.
program.
Yes.
You good? You got your spaceship gear on?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Lana,
Yes.
Miss Lana Hosing,
Yes.
and you are running for.
I'm running for trustee of the Stafford MSD School Board.
Mm-hmm.
I have lived in Stafford for about 23 years, and I've seen a lot of people try to represent our city,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen a lot of mistakes that are made, especially when our children are concerned. My big problem, or one of them, I have found that some of our kids are not reaching their potential. And my problem is I worry about the children that slip through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
I think every child should have an opportunity to have the best life possible, even if they don't go to college or a trade school. I think that our school should be able to train each child to be able to go out in the world and get a productive job from any manufacturing company or any store in our area. They need to hit the ground running with the ability to cope with anything that comes their way. We have an incident recently that kind of had me bothered because our kids are very smart.
Mm-hmm.
We have a robotics course up there that kids are amazing. In my lifetime, I've never seen anything like it. We have a program that should have been given to our kids because I feel like they are smart enough to do this, and it was to build a website. My problem was that they paid somebody to build this website. We have children in our school right now that have the ability to do that, and they should have been given that opportunity. And also, I feel like if I'd have been on the school board, I would have fought very hard for this and let them run that program and give them credits to go towards whatever they needed, whether it was graduation from high school, going on to a school somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
and further their education.
Right.
We have an abundance of companies, just like the mayor said there. Every one of them have some type of technology that these kids can go into.
Now, you made mention that you hate to see the kids slip through the cracks. Apart from being in office on the grassroots level, what are you doing to help those kids that are slipping through? What are your little things you have going on to?
I would
Kinda
like
like-
to start a program where we get the children when they first come in to
Mhm.
the school, sit down with them, find out with their parents what their problems are, how we can work with them to focus on these problems. Also, if they are students there already, I have had people tell me that they've had substitute teachers for 8 months.
Mhm.
And the grades are not what they should be when you've got a teacher that is there for maybe just a paycheck instead of
Exactly.
Mhm.
really teaching the kids.
Mhm.
Our kids are our future, and we need to focus on our kids and educating them the best way we can, no matter what it takes. There's quite a few things that I think we could also go through a process of maybe watching our students and see how well they teach the kids. And if they're not doing that job, we need to find somebody that we can bring in that's going to teach them
Exactly.
at the highest level they can get. My opinion is quit wasting money because there is money being wasted up there. We need to educate our children with the best teachers we can get. If we have a teacher that excels and is teaching our children at top of the line, we need to keep that teacher, reward that teacher. And I just feel like that there's too many things that are going unnoticed up there, and there's money being spent on things that are not really that important.
Yeah, that's exactly what Ash said about wasteful spending. You know,
Yes.
the money's not being properly allotted. But wow. And do you again? I know what you say what you want to do, but for us creating the programs. But right now, outside of this, what are you doing to help those kids now?
By
Like
running,
no, like for example, uh, one of the hosts, Pookie, she has an event coming up May 11th.
Yeah.
That's her way of trying to reach the kids. Though she's not in office, that's her way of trying to make a difference in the community. So what are you doing now that can assure the people that just as what she's doing now, she'll bring that here?
hmm well, I've been walking the neighborhoods, and I've had an opportunity to talk to children
Mhm.
that have graduated from our school, and I'm finding out what things they were not happy with there, and I'm making a list to ensure that when and if I do get elected, I can go back and focus on these problems and make them better than what they were when past kids were in there.
That's beautiful. Okay, that's just what I was asking
Yeah.
for. Yes,
Motivation.
exactly. Because my dad always said, if you don't know what the problem is, you can never fix it.
Yes.
And now that
True.
you ask the kids what they didn't like or what caused them not to go back, now you kind of go back in if you get elected to change that. That's
Yes.
perfect.
Yes.
And some of the other things that I think is important, uh, we focus a lot on one particular item in schools
Mhm.
all over Texas.
Mhm.
I think academic and trades are just as important as sports.
Oh yeah.
Our kids, we all of us have grown up with sports, and it seems like that's the most important thing in every family.
Hmm.
But I want to focus on the education of those kids because nobody that I know of has an AJ or a JJ Watt or Michael Jordan or someone like
Mhm.
that in their family. And I think what is falling through the cracks is what happens to that child if he goes to college, he plays maybe a month, has been given a scholarship, and he gets hurt and he's not able to go back and finish that career.
Mhm.
His career is over.
Exactly.
What is he going to focus on when he gets out? We need to make sure that our kids, and I firmly believe that we need to set a program up and push the education as much as we push all the extracurricular activities in a school.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and I think the people understand why they focus on that so much. That what brings in the big bucks.
Right.
You know,
Right.
you got some schools building 60, $70 million football stadiums,
Mhm.
but they won't put that same amount of money into curriculums and bettering the education of the kids because that doesn't bring in the bucks.
Exactly.
But
Like
what?
she
Stafford
said, what
has-
happens when they're injured?
Mm-hmm.
You have nothing to bounce back to. I've seen it. I've seen documentaries where they like, well, I don't know what to do. I never flipped a burger. You know, I never done all this. Every bone in my body is broken.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to figure out what I'm going to do with this last little bit of money that they're giving me. Because after this is gone, you know, it's over for me.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we want better for our kids. And I
Yes,
commend you on what
definitely.
you're doing.
And I think given the chance, our kids will excel.
Mhm.
We have several programs right now that is in the trade area, and I think that with more leadership and better leadership, we can move that forward and get several other different trades and different types of programs up there to focus on the kids.
Okay, and FYI, you are a Democrat. Oh, no. Oh, you want to
No.
say that? Okay, I'm not
I'm
gonna
gonna
put that
say.
up. Okay, I just thought the people that was coming through was from the Democratic Party. I don't know, and it should not matter. I know
No,
people
it
say
really
it should.
shouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I understand the more than two parties.
Mhm.
Oh. Well, what
I
part?
think we all want the same thing, though, for our children.
And that's what's
regardless.
important. That's what's
all
important.
that matters.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. You say you have a question? So the question, just for the viewers that may not have heard him, the question is, what do you think the problems with? What do you think is the problem with the leadership that's currently in schools?
I think sometimes the parents and the adults forget that they're there to focus on the kids and their education. And they have a dream of their own that they want to focus on. And it's not about your personal idea that you want to push, it's what the children are requesting. And I think once we sit down with the kids in a group and even individually and ask them, what can we change in this school? I think you're going to see a whole new avenue of leadership going on. Yes, I am. Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, because that's
Have
if
a voice.
if it's about them and
Mhm.
you're trying to get them somewhere, you have to know who you're dealing with.
Exactly.
Yeah, and not just assume that this is what the children need or want. Yeah, okay. Miss Lana Hosing,
Yes.
thank you for coming through.
Thank you for having us.
And
I enjoyed it, and I've learned a lot.
Yes, right?
I know I
do too,
have.
and I'm one of the hosts. I'm like, really?
Yeah, this-
Flabbergasted. That's my new word.
Oh,
I'm gonna make
oh.
you a shirt that says that.
I'm gonna give you the shirt named Flabbergasted. On Flabbergasted on
Figure
the
out
naked
how
truth.
to spell it. Flabbergasted.
And we're gonna spell it our own personal way too.
So, yeah, exactly. Uniquely.
Okay, Miss, you have anything coming up? Events? Anything that you like people to attend?
We just have early voting finishing out the week, and then we have our election on May the 4th.
Mhm.
And I'd appreciate everybody to come out because if you don't vote, then you can't complain.
Exactly. And remember, I don't know if they watched it last week, but even if you have a criminal record, you can go out and vote. If you're registered to vote, you can go out and vote. So please do not let that be a hindrance. Get out there, vote. 'Cause I know a lot of guys and ladies that have criminal records. They have kids, and I know you still want the best for your child, so you can get out and make a difference with your vote. So get out and vote, and maybe we have more candidates coming through here. So it seems like it.
It's very. I like these segments.
Yeah.
Awesome. I enjoy you.
Excuse me again. Thank you for Miss.
There's one more thing I'd like
Let's
to
go.
say. We've had a lot of problems with shootings and stuff in the United States this year.
Mhm.
And I think one of the other things that our schools need to focus on is to make sure that our kids are safe in the environment they're in. Because if they don't feel safe, they're not going to study and they're not going to listen to what's going on.
In addition to that, since you brought up about child safety and school shootings, I noticed that now it's leading from the school shootings to now school bullying. just recently we had a girl, 13-year-old girl that was jumped by 3 other girls at school, where she later died, and they're not sure if it's from the fight or from the brain tumor that she had. But prior to that, we had a guest on that he lost a 10-year-old son because he was bullied at school,
Right.
and they
There's a
just
lot
showed.
that goes on like
Yeah.
that.
So
Yeah.
now, what do you have anything that you would like to implement in your school to kind of diminish that bullying?
I would like to bring in more counselors that are trained to catch these children. Give you signs
Mhm.
of something
Yes.
that's going on in their life. If they're not eating or they're quiet or they're withdrawn, then you need to know there's something wrong. I had a child, my son, if it hadn't been for a counselor that tuned in on what was bothering him when he went to live with his dad, he would have dropped out of school altogether. I think counselors are underrated. People don't give them enough credit, and we need to make sure that all of our teachers help with the counselors and that the counselors know what they're talking about. And if we have more counselors, I think there will be less kids falling through the cracks that have major problems, and they should be able to catch the bullying and maybe have courses on bullying at school. And anybody can turn in somebody that they think is being bullied, but I think they're afraid to because they're afraid they're going to get bullied.
Exactly.
So I think it would be nice to implement a program to where you could anonymously send a suggestion in a suggestion box, or even talk to one of the teachers to where nobody knows who they are.
Right.
Okay. Again, it goes back to education. You have to educate them.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because a lot of kids, even when I was a kid, I did it. I teased certain kids. But today, teasing kids about things or disabilities and whatnot, that's a form of bullying.
Yes, it
And
is.
you never know how that's going to impact that child. And once you're educated on, some of your actions, maybe you won't tease people or push people around, whatnot.
Yes.
So go back to
Right.
being educated.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you so absolutely right. They expect you just because you're a parent, you should know how to be a mother, or you should know how to be a father. Some just have kids. They weren't educated. Some of them wouldn't even raise themselves.
That's true.
So
That's
it's
very
a domino effect. So you're right. They should have parenting. I've seen parenting classes. But you got people with this pride and like I don't need nobody to tell me, or whatever. Where I sat in one just because I was in the same building, and it was very informative. It's not telling you what you should do, you shouldn't do, it's just giving you more insight about being a parent.
Right.
It shouldn't be a book about it. It shouldn't be an education, but nowadays you gotta have it. You have to. It stems from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So, yeah, I totally agree.
I think that's
Totally
very
agree.
good.
They need to come up with something like that, and be more consistent with it.
I think with new leadership, not only on the board, but better teachers in
Right.
Stafford, I think there will be a lot of new programs implemented.
Right. Right.
And I think that's a good way to save money and put it in the right places.
Well, the people got to get out and vote
Yes,
to
they
get it
do.
done. Like you said,
We need their vote
you know,
desperately.
the voices from the people is what get things done. Once the public started making an outcry about something, people up top hear it. But to get it done, you got to get out and vote.
Right.
Vote.
And we have presented some excellent candidates. I think
Yes.
some excellent candidates. And people can say anything, but
Right.
they convinced me,
Right.
especially that one over there.
That one right there.
Yeah, there's that one over there, not the that one over there. They called him the mayor.
That a foundation.
They called him the mayor, but that one over there.
That one right there. That one right there.
Again, thank you, Miss Lana Hosen.
Thank you.
And y'all get out to the polls and vote. You got some good candidates here, and they got some great ideas that I know need to be implemented in schools, especially with this child bullying.
Yes,
That's just
indeed.
ridiculous right now.
You got it.
So we're going to really close this show out. We're going to bring in Reverend Moore to close it out for us. And that'll be our show for today. Come on in, Mr. Moore. Come on in,
Am I
Brother
on?
Moore. There
I'm
you
on.
go. Yeah, you on.
Oh man, I'm glad y'all brought everybody, let everybody come up here and share it with you guys.
Mhm.
I think you got um three, and it's sad. I hate to use the word candidates when it comes to the mayor because I think when somebody has been doing it for so long, and has for one not had any scandals, I think that's huge because if we go back and we look at the history of different politicians, especially in high positions, um, even if we consider some of them to be good people,
Right.
there is some kind of scandal that is behind them, and
Right.
so when you dig into his background and you don't see a scandal there, you got to ask yourself a question. You
Mhm.
know, should he even really be even having to run?
Exactly.
Should he even have to?
As he said, in politics, you can never say is
Yeah,
what it's going to be.
yeah,
But
Right.
my opinion was when I asked him about it, I don't think he have a problem
yeah.
being
Well, like
anything can happen, but the
yeah.
person that he is, I don't see that.
But he tells me, we don't assume anything, and
Mhm.
that's one of the things I can tell you that I've learned from being around him. That we don't assume, and we take our time to think about everything.
Mhm.
You want to think about it. You want to be smart. You want to be strategic about it.
Mhm.
So this it's a dog fight, especially when you have people that feel like they should have something or they deserve to
Mhm.
be in a certain kind of place. But ultimately, God's will is going to be done. And the funny thing about that is that sometimes you have a lot of people that will profess God, and they can talk all the words and say all the right things,
Right.
but it's about what's in their heart,
Mhm.
in their heart. And so with what he has done and shown there, I think that if his heart wasn't right, I think he wouldn't have lasted for 49 years.
That's definitely that's a fact.
I don't
Exactly.
think and I'm gonna tell you, just being honest with you, I wouldn't even hang with him if he wasn't a good
Y'all
person.
hang out. Y'all hang together.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hang with him. I
I
talk
can
to
see
him.
that. Yeah.
He cool. You see that?
I see
You
that.
see that?
Yeah.
He's not.
I hope I'm
you-
that cool when I get up that age,
Very
man.
down to
I
earth.
think I hope so too. I think
And
I
his
hope,
and his mind's so fresh.
yeah. Oh man, listen. Let me tell you something. I went to a couple events with the mayor. We've been rolling around doing some stuff, and what happened? I used to see him pat his leg,
Mhm.
and I would try to talk to him. He'd be like, "Wait, wait," and I didn't know what he was doing, but I know he would get up and deliver these good speeches, and then like maybe like 3 weeks ago, 2 to 3 weeks ago, we were at this event, and I was watching him. I'm like, I need to find out what is he doing. I need to
Yeah.
observe.
Yeah.
And not only did I watch him, I listened. And I do listen, but he'll tell you when I'm with him, I'm always doing other things. I'm talking to people,
Mhm.
because we're lining up things to help him out. And what happened was I listened. I stopped and I just listened to the whole speech in its entirety. And I heard him repeat back about 5 or 6 names of people that had performed and done stuff, and I'm looking like, what in the world? Like, there's no way you could have wrote that. So at the end, I asked him. I said, "Mayor, I figured out what you're doing now. You're putting the whole speech together in your head because there's no way
Right.
that you can memorize all of those names and consistently say it without stumbling or taking a
Unless he
break."
got it off of YouTube.
Well,
No, I just playing with you.
I don't think YouTube was around. I don't think YouTube was around when he first started. But all jokes aside, his mind is good,
Yeah, I
and
see that.
I think when God preserves somebody's mind that well, we should take notice to that.
Yes.
And just a sidebar, a lot of people want to make things about race,
Mhm.
religion, and things of that nature. And I have this motto. I just think it's about good people.
That's
Mhm.
it.
Good people. A lot of people talk the talk, but they don't walk the walk.
Mhm.
And just to speak about Lena, I've just recently gotten to know her, and I've had great conversation with her. And I think sometimes in the society that we live in America, I think sometimes we lose sight of our elders, and I think we shy away from the learning and the different things that they been through. I used to tell my wife all the time. I would say to my wife, I would say, you know, you take an old drunk that's 60 years old. I'm a certain age. I got a birthday coming up tomorrow actually, but I'll be working. So
Happy
you know,
early
Happy
birthday.
early birthday.
So
Don't let me see you in the street.
you you take an old drunk, and
Yeah.
he's been here longer than you. So
Right.
you know there's some things that he can tell you.
Mhm.
He can tell you how not to become an old drunk.
If nothing else.
You know, so when you get people like Lena and like the mayor who have seen some things, experienced some things. I mean, the mayor ain't even going to certain stories about rooting for Jackie Robinson and people laughing at him and saying negative things about him because
Right.
he was cheering for Jackie Robinson.
Right.
He wanted to see him succeed. I mean, Lena, you know, she didn't even go into how she basically took in a young lady, a young lady, and you know, it ain't about race to her. It's about how can I help.
Yeah.
And what how much more can I say about Ash, man? What y'all think about Ash?
I think Ash is a young, vibrant. What's the word I'm looking for?
Energetic,
No. I saw with an A. I'm looking for it.
enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic
Yeah.
person.
Yeah, man.
That if honestly, I don't know him. So I'm saying this and no shade on you, but if he stick with his character and his honesty and his transparency,
Yeah, we talking about like
he's
going
going-
somewhere way
he's going
far.
somewhere.
Yeah, I,
He's
I,
going somewhere.
I
Yes.
see the same thing.
Yes,
I see the
I
same
see that.
thing, and you know I'll be right there.
Yeah.
Making
Oh,
sure.
I believe you will too. Just make sure after he done it for 50 years, bring him back to the naked truth.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I think if we get Ash elected, man, I think Ash embodies
Mhm.
and has the all of the things that the mayor likes about somebody that's real as a young man. So you know, hey, I'm glad I could bring him through and have him come talk to you guys. I thank you, Pookie, for accepting the
Absolutely.
call.
Yeah.
And you know, Jim, I think we're gonna do a lot of work together. We're gonna keep doing some work
Appreciate
together.
you, man.
But
Appreciate you.
I think that you guys and your outlet is really good, and the fact that you opened your door to these candidates, you know, in our small little city, Mary, what you call it, 3 square miles or 7 square miles, 7 square miles. I think that's huge, man. So thank you guys for having us, and
Thank you, man.
you know, we'll see y'all on election day at the party.
Oh yeah.
We can come?
Yeah,
Oh,
y'all
I'm going.
invited. Y'all invited.
Do I have to wear a suit?
Yeah, so
I'm going to get one then.
all right, guys.
You should. You
All right.
should. Can't wear polos everywhere.
all right.
They got polo suits?
Yeah,
That's-
we got polo suits. I got a couple polo
Okay.
suits.
There you go.
Yeah, not the. I mean,
No, I'm trying to see could be same size. I want one of your suits or something, man. You know. But again, man, thank you for
yeah,
bringing
man.
them through.
Thank y'all, man. Thank
And-
y'all. Thank
And
y'all.
again,
So much for
it doesn't. To me, it doesn't really matter what party you are.
Yeah.
3 parties, 10 parties. It's the people. If you're honest and you're sincere and you're gonna be about what you talk about, you should be in office.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the key. That's the
Totally
key.
agree.
All right.
So that's our show, man. And hopefully we can have some more politicians coming through.
Yeah, I think.
I don't like using that word either, but you know,
I think you're gonna see a lot of them on Wednesday, right? From your live broadcast that day. I think your live broadcast.
ooh,
will
I
have a whole lot of
gotta get rid of them.
them.
Give me the right pole.
All right. All right, guys.
All right, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's our show, people. Jimmy the Square Guy, the one talk fly to you for a lie to you on your political hip hop outlet, The Naked Truth, with my host, Pookie. What's Next Radio Show. Be here soon. Continue to tune in. Hit that like button, hit that share button, hit that subscribe button, and most of all, get out there and vote and hit that vote button. Bing, bing,
Get out there and
bing,
vote.
bing.
Get out there
Now
and vote,
until
everybody.
May 4th, guys, make
Go
it
vote.
happen.
Go vote.
Be a difference.
And remember, the Summer Youth Event, May 11th. Get out, bring your kids, and another event tomorrow, Ember Eyes.
Is that the karaoke one?
That's the karaoke one. I forgot the address.
It's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow.
Oh, it's
8
it's
p.m.
on social media.
Yeah, it's on
I
social
need-
media.
I
Yeah,
wanna
and
go. I
don't
like to sing.
forget your event.
And my event. What's
May
the
1st.
park? May 1st, Missouri City Park.
Hunters Glen Park. Yeah.
What is it?
Hunters Glen Park.
Hunters Glen Park.
The
I will
live
be having a
broadcast.
live broadcast. I will be doing a red carpet event for those who
Fort
up
Bend ISD.
Fort Bend ISD. And no, look here, I'm asking some questions that they ain't gonna be able to answer. They may say we won't talk to him no more.
Okay.
We gonna act. So we'll see y'all again Friday. Thank y'all. But we'll see. I just see me again Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
So
I'll be
that's the
out.
naked truth, and we thank y'all again. And y'all have a nice day. And again, man, thank you for coming through.
My man.
That's it.
Great show.
Oh, we take pictures every day.